Well, here's something you don't see every day. How about a tree that's on fire, but just on the inside of it, like the outside of it isn't on fire at all? This was a recent example of a situation like that in Marianna, Florida. This was a tree that got hit by lightning. This happens once in a while, where the inside of the tree can just be this raging fire. I want to explain to you why this happens. A couple different reasons. Number one, in a lot of trees on the inside of them, you have sap, and the wood is also drier than what's on the outside. You know, if you're in the middle of a thunderstorm, obviously the bark is going to be pretty soaked by water, whereas on the inside you've got some drier wood, and the sap really conducts electricity well. The other thing that's going on here that makes the hole in a lot of these trees is just the fact that lightning is so ridiculously hot. I mean, we're talking 5 times hotter than the surface of the sun. When that hits a tree instantaneously, you know, if it's a smaller tree than this, the whole tree will just explode. You'll have bark flying all over the place. It's a big shebang. And then with a tree like this, it'll just kind of make a little hole in the side of the tree that ends up kind of behaving like a very efficient chimney, where you've got all this air intake that's keeping that fire just burning red hot. And a lot of the times, the crazy thing is the tree can actually survive after this. All the important stuff to keep the tree alive is on the outside where the bark is, all right? Sometimes they've got to cut it down just to get the fire out if it's a particularly bad one. But either way, hopefully you found that interesting.
So someone texted me that video yesterday, and then today in the comments section someone writes that on my phone's local weather area it usually has top 5 stories that you can swipe through. Yesterday the first one was titled "Lightning Sparks Fire Inside Trees." So I'm wondering how many of you have seen this same cover story being laid down about lightning starting fire inside of trees, possibly to pre-pave the path in people's minds, to inoculate them so that when they see this happening, they say, oh, I already know what causes that. I just saw a video on it the other day. So here we're going to watch a few snippets from videos by a YouTube page called Caveman. He's cutting down trees in California starting 5 years ago on his YouTube channel. This one is burning on the inside, and many of the others are also burned on the inside. So when someone comes across one of these trees burned out on the inside, someone will say, oh, that must be where the fire started, where the lightning strike hits. But when there's hundreds of these trees that are burnt out on the inside, it couldn't have been lightning as we traditionally understand it, because everyone saw the fires, but no one said it was raining down lightning from above to create multiple trees that got hit by lightning and burned on the inside. So if it's lightning coming from below. That's another terminology for plasma fire.
tailpipe in them.
This video titled Killer Tree. As you can see, it's burned out in the middle. I won't. I'm going to just show you a couple more and then show you his channel. This one is titled Killer Cedar, and I think he names them killer trees because they don't have the full base at the bottom, so you can't use the standard formula to cut them down where he chips it out on the one side and then cuts from the other side and then jacks it up with wedges because they're so awkwardly propped up. They come down and kill the guy cutting it down.
Alright, you can kind of like see through this. My face cuts over there. Got another hole here. It's kind of a weird little ordeal. We're gonna give her hell though. So, here's what we got. A little split action, a little face meat out of there. Yeah.
This one is titled Killer Burn Tree.
Alright. Got this hollow cedar. We're gonna go ahead and send this one. Dealing with these snags.
This one's titled Hazard Tree.
Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and set my camera up inside this here tree and watch what happens.
Literally putting the camera inside the hollowed out tree while he cuts it. Alright. Let's get her done. Nah. 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 So this is what his page looks like. You can see two titled here called Camp Fresno. One of them, Creek Fire, that was one of the California fires. So this guy apparently works for the Forestry Service, and most of these videos of his are burnt trees. He's the one going around cutting down the trees after the fires. And to Jamie Lee's point that the lumber companies are making a killing, here's his first video 5 years ago. Okay, this wasn't actually the video that I thought it was. The one I was going to show you is where the tree is perfectly fine to be milled, only the outside is burned. The inside of the tree is fine. This one has music going, so I'm not going to play it for copyright purposes. Hopefully the sound of the chainsaw will change it 20% for copyright. My point is, most of his videos are showing trees that are burnt on the inside, or at least many of them are. And lightning didn't strike all these trees. But the average person who finds one of these burnt out on the inside will say, oh, well, that must be where the fire started, where the lightning struck. Because they don't know. And we'll have a talk about... Anyway, I feel a walk and talk coming on soon for the old guard of this channel. Link will be in the description to his channel because it is a good catalog of plasma fire, even though he doesn't present it as such.